Hey there, welcome to another Contractor Click Podcast. This is Danny Barrera, your host, and I have my beautiful wife here with us today, our COO at Contractor Click. Maddie, how's your day going today?
My day's going great. I'm having a
Perfect.
great day today. Can't
Great.
complain.
We're going to talk about a special topic here in creating a referable experience. So if you're a concrete coating and home improvement business owner and you're looking to create more referrals and not just have them be passive for you, but be able to multiply every single one of your customers, we're going to go in depth here. And we also have another special guest, which, man,
Yeah.
great to have you here.
Yeah, so good to be here. I'm so excited.
What's going on in your world, Luis?
Man, just giving thanks, man. I'm so excited. I'm glad to be here again on the podcast. Get to have great conversations. Great to discuss some good things today.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
Yeah, you've been looking at spreadsheets all day long.
Yeah,
Numbers.
yeah, it feels good.
Facebook ads.
Feels good.
What's a positive? What's a win in your world?
I think we're finally starting to see a bit of a turn. I think the beginning of the year was a little bit of a
January,
tough
February
start.
is
Yeah.
always.
So the results that we're seeing now have been definitely more on the positive side, moving in the right direction. So again, nothing more than to just give thanks right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, gratitude.
Absolutely.
Maddie, positives.
Man, positives it's a great month. It's a great month.
a
We've
great
had
month,
great
yeah.
calls with our clients, and it's exactly what Lewis says. Like, there's a positive turnaround. We're having great Mays all around. I don't necessarily think there's anybody right now that we have talked to that's not having a great May. So that's a really good.
Yeah, it's always great to
Yeah.
see like all the seeds that were planted January, February, March. They started to come into fruition. April. Now
Yeah.
we started to see everything just cost per lead going down significantly.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been seeing leads in the $20 mark, under $20. Ads are just crushing it.
Yeah.
And that's the funniest thing is that's advertising, right? It's what we love to do here. So something interesting I was thinking about is we get paid to help people out and serve them and help other businesses out and grow and multiply. And the beautiful thing in marketing and advertising is we help them create an experience that we hope and what we've been able to master is to help our clients' marketing experience be memorable, and this is what starts the conversation of what creates a referable experience. And if you're looking to get more referrals for your business, I want you to start thinking about like, hey, when was the last time I was able to, predictably speaking, be able to get more referrals from my current client base? How is it that referrals are happening? Is it passive? Is it an active referral? Do I have a program in place that's helping me generate more referrals? And do I know and can I quantify how much I should be investing into my referral program every single month? So whether you're starting out or you've been in business for some time, I want to be able to dive deep into the conversation. It's something I'm passionate about. One of my mentors, Dean Jackson, we were just listening to him on the way here. He's very big about creating this 9-profit activator, and he's got the before, the during, and the after. And the referrals is what happens after someone has been served with the product or the service and the experience. And what is that individual doing to either continue the conversation or get into conversations to promote the business that served them? So
Yeah.
that being said, I think one of the best conversation starters here is, when was the last time you went into an experience or you were served either at a business or an event at a restaurant that made you talk about it to other people?
Yeah, that's good.
What was the most recent experience for
I
you,
think,
Luis?
I mean, when I find out about something new and it like hits all the marks, the customer service was great, the product that was great. If it was a service, the service was excellent. You get almost like a feeling of like, I want to share this. I want to spread this, especially if it comes from like a company, maybe it's a small business. You see that and you're like, I want them to win. So let me go ahead and spread the word. Anyone who needs this product or service, I want to help them by, expressing and sharing about them.
Okay, so you talk about experience, and this is a two-way. Like this is like the Bible talks about the double-edged sword. This is a double-edged sword, and it's so sharp. Because, and this is what I believe, you cannot create a remarkable experience Seth Godin talks about brands that are memorable, they're remarkable. And what is remarkable? It's like it really truly stands out. You cannot create that remarkable experience if the person serving you is not experiencing that for themselves.
Agreed.
So that's the employee. That's the person facilitating. You go into Disney, right? We can talk about that, Maddie. I know you're a big Disney fan. Are you?
I don't know that I mean, I guess I am, but I know Disney, but I don't know that I can. I don't know.
I mean,
Maybe
you want to take us
but
to Epcot, the
I
entire
do, I
company.
do.
she's talking about taking us to
We are.
Epcot.
We are going to go to Epcot. Back to what you were saying.
Christian,
really
you're
a
invited.
minute ago. Absolutely,
All right.
Christian. Just let me know so that I can get your ticket. One of the things that you were talking about right now, which is very interesting. Literally, right before we started this podcast, all of us were talking about a coffee shop, a local coffee shop near where we live that doesn't have frills, doesn't have fancy syrups, doesn't have but the product is good, the coffee's good, and we're all literally talking about how we
Wait
need
a
to go
second.
there.
So what coffee shop was that? I think I was in the restroom.
I think what was the name of it?
What was the name?
Deeks.
Deeks.
Look at this
down the
guy.
road. Yeah.
I mean, and you guys were talking about the entire,
Yeah.
it was a great experience.
Yeah.
So the referability starts with the experience. And I want you to assess that. That's something we are assessing for ourselves at Contractor Click. And there's been seasons where we've had to slow down the acquisition of clients because we don't want to fall behind on our experience for our current clients, which is what a lot of agencies like. I feel like that's the biggest challenge in the agency space. In full transparency, is like, okay, can you maintain the rhythm of excellence once someone comes in through the door consistently and then continue serving clients at the highest possible levels, right? For us, there's been seasons. Why? Because we want to maintain that experience all throughout, not just in the front end, but what happens in the 12-month, 24-month, and it's super exciting to be able to do that. We just had one of our amazing clients. He'd been with us for over 5 years. And it's always great when a client decides to go national. And they're like, hey, it's time. We're moving in a different direction. We're bringing things in-house. Because we want to franchise our business model. We want to do a lot of great things. And I'm like, man, that's an incredible win.
Yeah.
But in order for us to have that relationship be that long, there had to be that experience where he was getting what he was, not just the service, which is by default. They're paying you so that you could do
Correct.
right.
Yeah.
That's a given.
Yep.
It's not even like, yes, you should have a great service. It's not even, but what does that relationship look like? Right?
Yeah.
Month in and month out. And I don't know about you, but in the agency space, 5 years plus, over 5 years, it's a long time.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, and that's happened multiple times for us, and we're always happy to see clients. So going back to this, the coffee experience, like we're talking about it. What were you guys talking about?
Well, it was recommended to us. That's the beauty of it.
It was recommended to you
Yeah,
guys.
we were just talking about coffee, and I mean, Christian recommended it. We got on the same page about coffee, and then it was like, hey, I just had an amazing experience. I had an amazing product. It's local. You should check it out. And it, like you said, it always started from having that good experience or experiencing a good product.
Yes.
And it worked.
Would you have the same level of impact if the individuals in that environment were not happy?
No, absolutely not.
So I believe a referable experience starts with the employees. Maddie,
Exactly.
what do you got
Yeah,
to say?
no, definitely. Like we were talking about Disney before I talked about the coffee shop. Listen, Disney's hot. Disney's expensive. Disney is line after line after line. Disney, if you
You
think
paid to
about
be in
Disney,
line, so
you
paid to wait.
For real. If you
That's the Disney
you're right.
model.
But if you think about Disney, it's so annoying. It's so annoying. But at the end of the day, you never leave Disney unhappy. It makes you happy. You go in there and you get happy.
You're tired, your legs are
You're
sore.
exhausted, but you're like thinking
You're
about
sweaty.
right. But you're
It
thinking
rains
about
in the middle of the day.
it rains in the middle of the day, but you're thinking about the experience you just had and the memories you made and the castle all sparkly
So
and cute.
what creates the experience and what creates the memories? And then we'll go into local business and how this applies to our clients.
What creates the experience? I think putting time and effort and really prioritizing. I know for a fact, like for example, the Disney employee dealing with the disgruntled customer is always going to have a smile on their face and like diffuse the situation to keep the magic alive. So that experience is important. Like having that that demeanor and that, you know, the way you approach the situation in a joyful manner, that creates an experience.
Yes, and this ties back into what we discussed here in our last podcast episode. If you have not checked it out, make sure you go back and listen to when we had Pastor TJ talk about leadership. It goes back to the core values. And are we living our core values? Because that glues right into the referability of the business, of the experience. Are we fulfilling on that one promise at the highest level? And that becomes the game. The game becomes, are we winning? Are we kind of like in the middle? Are we losing? How do we get back up? It's the beautiful thing as you grow in scale. So that's an interesting model. It's like, okay, we did go about a year ago. It was actually a year ago. We went to Disney with our mastermind group, and we spent time behind the scenes looking at and studying and analyzing their lines and how, you know, the experience is consistent and how you don't mind waiting online. So that was actually a discussion. Like, what does it look like? How are people serving you when you have questions? How are people answering the questions? Are they irritated? And from the rotations to everything, it's so calculated right down to the T that it makes this experience not only exciting, but it's a repeatable, fresh experience. I can only imagine if you had the same person doing it all, right? Like the whole shift.
Yeah. I think also, I think keyword there is appreciated, because if you think about it from a home improvement contractor's perspective, like if it's a client that's maybe getting multiple quotes, like if you can find a way to maybe this is actually past or before even the referral process, it's making them feel appreciated. I can't think of how many times that I've walked out of a business and my perspective or my joy from that business or the reason why I returned was because I was appreciated. I was seen more than just like,
that's a good one.
it's another walking
that's a very
dollar
big
sign. I
point.
wasn't viewed like that, right?
Yeah, like you're gonna take care of me, and you're gonna take care of my home, and you're gonna take care of everything. Like you're gonna take care of my space with your disposition. Like that's important.
Yes.
That is very important.
Well, that's something I coach other agency owners on. It's like, hey, you know, when you get on a strategy call or a discovery call, before you even get to a strategy, it's the number one goal is to build alignment and have the person on the other side feel and be understood. And what alignment looks like oftentimes, it's not always a good fit. And
Yeah.
it starts there.
Yeah.
And if it's not a good fit, what options are we giving to that person to not make them feel bad? Like someone reached out to us and he's like, hey, you know, this is my business model. He's pretty much what he does is he runs the marketing and then he sells the jobs to other people. I'm like, we don't work with companies in that capacity. Like, you know, we're here to help you build a brand, build a great business, etc., build a great culture. We're not here to, you know, broker, because otherwise we'll be Angie's List 2.0
Yeah.
and have other people fight for the jobs. That's not our model. And where I'm going with that is that conversation, to leave it in a positive tone, I told him, hey, look, here are a couple of resources. I think these individuals might help you out. But you see, we left with a good respect in the conversation, and he felt like, okay, you know what? This guy was not trying to close me. Could we run ads for that person? Could we do
Of course we
SEO
can.
all day long?
All day long.
We could go national with him. We would, you know, probably, I don't know, that was a $65,000 a year opportunity if we were to quantify it in a pipeline. Did I take it? No. Why? Because that is actually caring
Yeah.
and making them feel heard and understood. And I told him, look, if this is what you're looking for, this is what you need to look for when it comes to the marketing. And this is the individuals you might as well just start doing it in-house to help you and facilitate that. So it starts out with hearing where they're at, and that's the customer service. And in the home improvement side is the SDR, the admin assistant, whoever, the receptionist, whoever is calling back those leads, that initial text message. What are you saying exactly in that first touch point when someone submits their information? And then what happens after? What is the tone of voice? How are you sound? Are you grumpy when you're calling back the leads, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all of that. It's not just the one thing.
Yeah.
All of that. So we talked about the customer service piece before engaging into the fulfillment. What else do you think makes a great experience that is referable?
I mean, I think I think also aside from the experience before, right? But during as well. I mean, there's a lot of responsibility, especially in our industry that we service. Like, like Maddie said, that client is opening up their home to you. So it's like, I think
Mm.
being aware of the responsibility that you do have from a customer's perspective, right? If I was in the position of a client, someone who came in and respected my home versus like, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna come in, I'm gonna do my job and like get it done, boom, 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 and then here's my paycheck, here's the contract, sign it, I'm out. Versus like, yes, like we're gonna take our time. I understand that you have some expensive things in this home. Let's be careful with this. Like valuing the client all the way through to the end, and then not just collecting payment and saying goodbye. It's like the nurturing throughout the entire process. I think is big enough to leave a mark in the client's thoughts and like, no, I do remember this client. He gave me excellent service from beginning, process, and end. I would love to recommend him because I had a great experience with him the whole way.
Yeah, and when it's good too. Like when something's good, that
Yeah.
also creates an experience.
Uh, Creating a referable experience is not for the commoditized, lowest priced business like that. Do you ever tell someone? I mean, at least I'm not gonna tell someone when I'm thinking about buying something. Go to the dollar store. I mean, unless you're looking for whatever, like a bag, the
Yeah.
cheapest bags that you need to find in town, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing: is when you're thinking about value, there's a steakhouse right here. What's the name? Chops. Is it Chops? Yeah.
Chops.
Chumps. What's the name of that steakhouse,
Chops.
Christian?
I think it's Chops.
Chops. Supposed to be one of the best
It
ones.
is delicious.
It is delicious.
Delicious.
Top tier pricing, right? Is it more than Morton's?
Yes.
Okay. So you think about it, right? And now you give me, Maddie, you give me different steakhouses around here, or they're called steakhouses, right? Give me different names here so we can put it into context and perspective. You can go to TJ Fried
You can go to Longhorns
Longhorns,
or Outback.
Outback.
Those are all steakhouses.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with them. They're
There's
good.
nothing wrong with them.
But it's not Chomps or Morton's or Ruth's Chris.
With Chris,
Right.
you're paying more, but what is it that creates the value? Is the steak better? Significantly better? Like absolutely ridiculously? Louis,
It's
come
good.
on.
I think there's two things. I think
Yeah.
there's experience and there's exclusivity.
Yeah.
They have something that a Longhorn or a Texas Roadhouse probably won't have. They have some like a cut of meat that's made a specific way or a dish that's exclusive, but also
Tablecloth.
but that goes with the experience. It's like you feel nicer. You can't just
You like the bread and butter there?
yeah. Can you walk into a Ruth's Chris wearing a t-shirt and some shorts?
Probably not. I think
No,
they have a dress
because
code, yeah.
the
Sandals
experience
will
is
probably kick me out.
Yeah.
exactly. I think the experience is completely different. The service that you receive there, if you have a bad dish, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like let's get this taken care of for you.
Your drink is always full.
Mm-hmm.
You never have to even think about your drink being full. You don't have a crumb on your table because they come with that little like pen thing that like cleans up the crumbs.
So it's an experience. Now,
Experience,
how proud do you feel about telling your friends where you went to eat if you go there?
Exactly.
You right? It's
Yeah.
it's a status thing. So referability, I want you to understand how is my service, how is my deliverable, whether it's a concrete coating or a kitchen remodel or an entire interior remodel of a home, maybe a paver patio. How is it a status symbol? How can I tie it into that so that the conversation can be about the status that you have? Because that in itself, just having that in a client's and customer's mind, having that be part of the conversation already elevates you. Like just that's it. Exclusivity is another one. It's like how many prospective clients do we get that they get upset that they can't be clients because we already have someone in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how much more valuable does that service become now
Yeah.
to those that want to get in the territories open,
Correct.
right? Now, of course, you want to serve all the clients. You want to grow 5, 6, 7 crews, plus the conversation, the question, like you're building value for your home. You're elevating the value of your home. How are you creating that experience in the conversation in your customer's mind so that they can see and value it once they have the floor? Have they seen one? Do they know what it looks like at the end of the day? How are you conveying that through your website, through the conversations, do you have video that's been professionally produced that is helping you educate? Now you're more valuable than the guy that's just chucking the truck, right?
Yeah.
They don't have their own equipment. You don't know. They just got started last week. They took a class 3 days ago. Now they're installing floors,
Yeah.
and they're selling $3 square foot floor. Nothing wrong with just getting started. The point I want to make is, how do you create that valuable experience, right?
Yeah.
It's everything that surrounds that, the image, your brand. What else would you say, Maddie, in that conversation?
I think, yeah, like you're saying, like coming in with a truck that's wrapped and wearing, we have one of our team members, he has the polos, and his shirts that he gives his team
Professionalized
is not
service
the
company.
t-shirt, it's the like that material that doesn't fade, that's like
Doesn't
a
wrinkle,
workout
doesn't
material.
fade, yes.
Yeah, that's
a dry
amazing.
fit,
Like
yeah.
a dry fit.
Dry
Because
fit.
you know what, his people that are doing the actual job, his crew never has a wrinkly, even like
that's true.
stained shirt, because it repels the stains. And he has
He actually
shirts
has shirts.
in his truck that if like you're gonna take a picture, he's like, no, that's not a good shirt. Here, have this one.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's money that you're investing in that stuff. But
Yeah.
you know what? Those people pull up and they look clean. They look professional. They give them, he gives them like a little folder with like the estimate inside with his logo on
Well,
it.
and
I think that client also provides an amazing level of customer service.
100%.
That client is very, very easy to speak to, easy to converse with, from the moment that he calls you on his phone to the moment that you guys shake hands and part ways and you're happy with
Super
your
polite.
with your service.
Mm-hmm.
I think that also comes into play with it too.
100%. You feel good, almost like even like he's the type of client too, like the type of person that shows up and is not going to bombard you with information, but he's a fountain of information. If you have it, like if you
Yeah.
ask him something, he'll be glad to like walk you through it, talk to you about it, and that's part of the experience too.
yeah, so I want you to all, part of the homework here is go to a luxury restaurant, 5-star restaurant. I mean, whatever you want to call it, even just
good
auto
homework.
dealer,
like
and
that.
get that experience. Get that experience for yourself. Well, just be careful when you go to a Toyota used
No,
car
don't
dealer.
No.
You're gonna walk away with a truck.
With a truck.
Don't take that advice right there.
But it's
Right,
true.
Just kind of take your son there and say, "Hey, you're not buying anything. I'm just walking in." One of them, they're gonna prey on you. They gonna try to close you on whatever 0% down in like 27 months with like a 40% AP. So here's the point I want to make is, go to a luxury car dealer versus a used car dealer and just experience the difference. What does it look like? Bentley. I'm talking about like Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
Where was it that we went the other day? We went somewhere to buy something like on like a nicer end, and they came there like, "Would you like some water, sir?" And they came with a silver platter
Silver platter.
with a little like bottle on top of it.
Mont
like,
Blanc.
it was
Yeah.
Mont Blanc, yeah, with the little bottle like Pellegrino.
Just
whatever.
go there.
And he was like, "Here you
Right.
go." And you're
Experience
like,
it. Why? Because you cannot produce that experience. And now, if you want to take this up a notch and you want to create this, and this is something we work very hard on, is how do we create an experience for our team, our Florida team, to experience what does it look like to be served at a higher level? Well, we have the company meetings, the fun Friday. I mean, there's a lot of things that we do internally to create that culture, and we have great stuff planned out here. And where I'm going with that is, what if you were to take your core crew, your core team, to experience what does it feel like to experience something at a higher level? What does that 5-star world-class experience feel like, look like? How can I not be cheap with my employees and give them the value so that now they feel value? And like, I mean, we do this. Like,
Yeah.
you were asking for LaCroix today. I'm like, dude, this is your fridge,
fridge.
man. Like, you don't need to ask
We
us
have
for it.
food.
I think we just came back full circle, because in the beginning of the conversation, it was perfect because you brought up, how would you have felt, how would your experience in that service or that store have been if that employee was disgruntled, was upset, did not look like they wanted to be there? I think that it all comes into play. It's like, when you provide that level of experience for your employees, the value that employee or that your company is held in that employee's heart increases significantly. And it's like, how much more will that employee want you to win, especially if you understand it that way? Like, I'm working for this company, but I'm investing my time into this company. If I treat it like it's just whatsoever, the company that I'm investing my own time in, it's like I'm not giving it the best that it could possibly get. And like,
Right.
again, when I meet with my clients, I hope that they see that like I have joy being here. I enjoy having the conversations with
Yes.
them, and it's like that comes full circle, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, quick question: how do you enjoy working with us?
I love working with
You'll
you guys.
still have a job if you say I don't
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it. Yeah. Christian will still keep you around, man. If you say I don't like this, guys, come
Oh,
on.
I love this place,
Christian,
man.
we better win that thing. All right. Our they're having clients awards. We better get number. Let me know what I need. What our followers need to do in order to help us win #1 podcast of the year.
Ooh.
All right. So now, referable experience. Let's get into some tactical, doable. So we've gotten around the concept of what creates the experience. Now there's a passive referral experience, which is like someone just happens to know, hey, do you know someone that knows how to do this, or who did your floors, right? Who did your patio? What was the name of that, and how often does that happen? Versus, how do you have the person trained up to talk about your service? And there's a multitude of ways now with social media. We were talking about this, like, hey, does someone sharing your work on social media and producing an inbound call, an inbound lead, count as a referral? Is it a yes or no? It's a quiz time.
I mean, I know the answer.
What is it?
It's a soft referral.
It's a soft referral,
Yeah.
right? Right. Maddie?
Yeah, it's a referral.
It's a
Like
referral.
what today, we got one of our things was shared by a happy person, and that's a referral because he knows other people that are in his industry, and in
Absolutely.
terms,
He was grateful for it.
he was grateful for something
Yes.
that we provided for him, and he shared his gratitude. And did he say, hey, hire these people? No. And that's well, that would be like a referral. But you know what, if somebody that he knows is on his feed and he sees that this person was satisfied with the product enough that he shared it on his feed, then they're in turn, they will think of us when they're looking for their own marketing. So yeah, it's a referral. It is a referral.
And here's something special. It's like anyone that shares our content on their on their Facebook, let me say that clearly, on their Facebook feed, whether that's you take a YouTube video and you share it over to your Facebook feed, or a Facebook group that is industry specific and you found it and you tag us, we're going to take care of you. And I want you to experience that. I want to invite you, if you find this content helpful, valuable, I want you to share it on Facebook. And that's the one place that it's easier to track. If you tag us on a story, it's so much harder to track because they only last for 24 hours. But if you do us a solid and share some of the content that we produce, whether it's this YouTube video or a podcast episode, and you drop it into a Facebook group or your own feed and you tag us, we'll make sure to find you. And we like to send out goodies. Why? Because that's a token of appreciation. Now,
Yeah.
when you receive that token of appreciation, how do you think you're going to feel next time you find another piece of content that's
Exactly. Yeah.
exciting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we talked about giving referral incentives, such as like monetary value versus an experience. Which one is more meaningful, Maddie? Monetary versus
The
an experience.
experience, big time.
What do you think?
The experience is more meaningful, but I have a great story about
Go
the
for it.
monetary. So I mean, long story short, my father bought a car from a dealership, used car dealership, but our cousin was also in the market. So deal went great. The guys were great. Now, mind you, it did all start with the experience. My dad had a great experience there. The guys were very educated, very welcoming, very great customer service. Vehicle was great. Brings my cousin along and he's like, oh, well, by the way, since it is technically a referral, here's $100. When that happened, maybe it's just my dad being Brazilian, but the second that $100, he's like, you just paid me $100 to bring you someone. My dad brought 7 people. I'm not kidding. So 7 people, like back to within the 6-month period, brought them. And but
Exactly.
again, it's like
That's awesome.
it all started with the experience. Even though there was monetary there, do you think my dad would have brought them if like the car that we were sold wasn't in great shape, and
Exactly.
the
Right.
experience
Exactly.
wasn't that great. So it was monetary, but the experience was still there. It was still important.
Right. That was the first
So
thing.
I think you got to have both.
Yeah.
You you know there are those that are driven by, hey, I can actually make some money here and make the introduction, and you build that relationship. But you got to have a very good sales person following up on the referrals and have
Yes.
a structure of how to keep track and how did that specific relationship elaborate. So and some of those will not go out. Now here's where I'm going at is I want to create at bat opportunities, which means like did they become a client fully? Um, in order for them to get some sort of
Yeah.
reward
Of
system. I
course.
want to train. So the behavior that you want to get more of, you got to incentivize it in some way, shape, or form, and have it be a positive. So the experience one, whether it's cookies, gift baskets, whatever it is, that's might be small but memorable to that individual. Whether it's a gift card to Starbucks, we like cookies. What's the name of that cookie website?
Man, I think it's called
Sugar,
Sugar Wish. That's
Sugar
cool.
Wish.
That's a
Right,
cool
quite
website.
literally. So, if you want to get lucky, make sure that you share our podcast episode on Facebook, tag us at Contractor Click, and we'll make sure to find you so that you can see how that works. And it's pretty cool. And I can tell you this, like the person that shared us on social media, just look out for a gift from us. It's coming
Yeah.
your way. We appreciate you for sharing. You see, when we incentivize that behavior, now it's more likely than not to happen again, right? It's
Yeah.
more likely than not. The monetary experience that works great as well. You put it from a homeowner perspective, and if you're living in a high net worth town, you probably don't want to be associated with like, hey, I'm referring so many people because I need to make cash.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to play that specific scenario, and it depends on where you live. Because some
Yeah.
people don't want to be associated with like, oh, I just referred my friend, and then he's gonna know about this program, so he's probably gonna think I just wanted to make a quick
But
buck
what
out
if
of it.
what if you give your referral a $100 gift card to an experience?
Boom.
That's different. Yeah.
Or we shared, by the way, we shared a specific link inside of our Copemaster. Shout out to Copemaster. If you don't know what Copemaster is, it's coaching and training community for the concrete coating industry. We have a special pricing going on right now this time of the year. But in Copemaster, we shared a specific link where you can actually give away trips for free.
Wow.
And your cost is like $30. So there's a lot of these hotels and experiences that they have slots open throughout the year, and instead of having the rooms empty, they rather have some people come in, and the person that gets the gift, all they have to do is pay for the taxes. They don't pay anything else, and that's
Yeah.
it.
That's cool.
Yeah, that is really awesome.
So you get to share that experience. Hey, win a free 3-day or 4-day, 3-night trip over to Cancun, Mexico. Experience it.
Yeah. Wow. That's
Would
awesome.
you like an
Yeah, that is
experience?
I would love
Okay,
that.
bring us some
experience.
We're gonna
clients.
have-
Bring
we
us
are.
some clients.
Hey, I'm gonna take you to
Get us a
Disney.
couple of
Yeah, yeah,
referrals,
yeah.
Luis, and I'll send you over to Cancun.
I'm gonna
With your
take him to
girlfriend.
Disney. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And we're still going
Listen,
to this.
man.
We're
I
stacking
love
it up.
working here.
There you
Daniel.
go.
I love working here.
Awesome. Yeah. So action items. Okay, so that's one way. Now, you got to train your customers on how to refer you, or when they hear the conversation that someone may be having regarding their project for the spring, summer, fall, what they're thinking about. They're complaining about something. So you got to train on those scenarios. And for that, you got to know what that scenario looks like. So I'm going to speak to the concrete coating contractor right now. That scenario may look like, hey, if you hear someone complain about their garage floors or how it's just cracked, it's developing a crack, like I want you to think of us and make the introduction so that we can take care of them. Would you feel comfortable on that, right? So just plant that scenario and that seed. And the second piece to that is you've planted the seeds. Now you got to have some type of monthly nurture to your clients so that they know about your referral program. I learned this from Dean Jackson and Joe Stumpf. Joe is a great NLP trainer, incredible. He trains mostly real estate individuals, and that was like he used to run a program called Referral. I used to have all those books when I first met Maddie, and this big slide, and I learned how to create referrals, a lot of it from him. But one of the things he taught in his program was you've got to enter the conversation right when it's happening and bring it in and then have that person create value based on what know already exists that they can be value add.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, like what you're saying is you're going to be associated by that experience now.
Yeah.
If I refer you an incredible client, an incredible contractor that gave me great service, great experience, the team was amazing,
Yeah.
right? There's
That-
no doubt that
that's
was
your
worth
name.
the extra.
Yeah. That's
And
your
then
name.
I can brag about, hey, they were not the cheapest, but they're actually pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think the big question here is like, am I willing to put my reputation on the line for this referral? And if you go into every job understanding that, and it's like the service or the product that I gave this person, was it good enough to where they would put their name on the line for it? And reputation is everything. And I think that if that approach is taken, I think it might create a big shift.
I love it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And this is the other thing. It brings us to the opportunity of how am I nurturing relationships after I've served my clients. So this is your greatest opportunities. And this is if you're one of our clients at Contractor Click, I want you to lean into us and send us what is it that you're doing for your customers to service them after you've done the job. Is it a paver patio? Excellent. What are some of the strategic tips that you want them to do on maintenance? Maybe there's a follow-up 6 month later follow-up so that they keep you in mind for that next project. Or maybe you are going to be doing sealing in winter season and you want to start promoting, your ceilings, concrete ceiling services. What does that look like in your pipeline? Because out of those conversations every month, you can spark the initiative for more referrals.
Yeah.
So you can have the referral incentives, the referral programs where people get money. You can create the experiences. And now we're about to go to a dinner. I'm not going to say where, but we were invited because we're contributing there. And it's the dinner the thing, right? That makes this whole. Is it the dinner or is it the experience? Or what
It's
is
sitting in the room with the rest of the people. It's the experience. It's
experience.
definitely, it's not the dinner is dinner.
It's
but
the who is going to be there. So what if you were to create a program where you take your best referral clients to the best restaurants in town to create a great experience for them? And you get to see, like, for example, Rilla, that's an AI voice recording and training coaching for the trades industry. What did they do recently here in Miami? What they did is they threw a party for their best referrals, the best clients, the biggest clients that they have. Why? Because they want to create the buzz and referrals. That's it. And it's a branding opportunity. Now, guess who's going to talk about that experience when they walk out of that dinner or that event?
everybody that's
Yeah.
there.
And what are they going to do?
They're going to refer.
They're going to refer. So if
gonna
you
refer.
want more referrals, that's
Yeah.
right. You can invest just like what you invest in advertising. So you advertise, you generate leads, you nurture, you close. And now once you close them and you earn their business, that's your time to multiply them. And your goal is to multiply and nurture over time and take care of them. What last remarks you guys have as far as referrals?
I mean, I think I'm very happy that we touched on, I think, almost all the touch points. Like,
Yes.
From actual tangibles to actual experience to monetary incentives, but also I think it is one big cohesive process, right? Like you have to have a bit of both, and I believe you also have to do it well, and you have to be good, like Maddie said. So knowing that your service or product does have to be good, does have to be in the place to compete, but also, your customer service, the client's experience is going to come hand in hand with that. So
I think for me, one of the best things that I liked about this episode we talked about was just the fact that we're talking about this when it comes to a home improvement service industry. Because, for
Yes.
example, the first time I ever heard about the Ritz, right, was at my dentist. Because my dentist was talking to me at one point about the Ritz experience when I was in my 20s. Never been to a Ritz, I heard of the Ritz, but I didn't even think anything of it. And him talking about providing the Ritz experience for his people that he was literally cleaning junk out of their teeth. that was like, oh man, you can create that kind of experience in any industry that you own, you do, you're a part of. So I love that we're talking about this, because you're right. There's nothing better than a person that's coming into your house who is a home improvement contractor who is giving you that Ritz experience, right? Than the disgruntled guy who comes out of the car. What do you want? Like, okay, where can I start? Is this where I go? Banging things all around. Like, no one wants that. People want to feel that Ritz experience in everything that they do. So the fact that we're talking about this referral-based culture that is to be implemented in these
Wait a
home
second.
improvement
So,
services.
so a paycheck is not enough to
No,
create that experience?
absolutely not.
Louis?
Absolutely not.
Louis would
No.
probably not
No,
be
no,
here.
no.
Why are you
Oh,
laughing, bro?
Absolutely not. Like, you have to have that. That's important.
How important is the culture to this whole thing?
Night and day. Night and day. Of course, you can have the mentality of like, it's paycheck or I'm not there. But I think that just like in life's reality, everyone realizes this, I feel like, at some point in their life. And the reality is that the day that you realize that you have the money and that you got the money that you worked so hard for, and it still didn't really quite scratch the itch that you were hoping it would,
Yes.
you realize like, wow, I would give half of this away to have an environment where I feel seen, where I feel heard, where I feel appreciated, but also where I enjoy going to, where I enjoy giving 40 plus hours of my week, of my life a week. That is more valuable.
Right. Money is important, but being taken care of is like so much more intrinsically valuable.
Yeah, yeah. And the other thing is, have I held you accountable? Have I had difficult conversations with you?
Yeah, of course.
Me personally.
But
I'm not an easy guy to work
Not
with,
me.
by the way.
Not me,
But
though.
that
Maddie is the
I'm the good
opposite
boss.
of. She's the good boss. I'm the.
but
How would you categorize me?
Great.
No.
no.
I want him to be real on the podcast.
Controlled pressure,
Okay.
but you don't see it in hindsight. Or you don't see it. You don't see it out until after you're out of it. Because the reality, I told you this morning. This is a real conversation.
Yeah.
Where I came from, and the past company I worked for, where I gave 7 years of my life to, the growth I've experienced in 7 months here probably wouldn't have came from those, didn't come from those 7 years.
Yeah.
Because it was it's the challenge, I think, also. I spoke about this with my spouse, if there's no challenge, what are you doing? At that point, you're forced to just be there for a
We
paycheck.
just talked about the next 6 months
Exactly.
and the opportunity.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. It's you gotta enjoy the pressure, and there's a healthy and unhealthy. I've been on both extremes, and I produce both extremes for people. And the other thing is right people, right seats. You know what I'm saying? I can burn down the individual that is not appropriate for that seat. I've learned that lesson the hard way. But to be able to pour into someone like you, man, we're crushing it. We're moving forward. You're excited. You bring this energy. You're in the podcast. Dude, did I need to drag you here? You were excited. You were like, let's go, man. I'm dude, let's roll.
I love this place.
And we appreciate you very much, man. And I appreciate the impact you have in our clients' lives, in their employees' lives, and in the world. So you're very valuable. And then Maddie on the other side, man, she brings nourishment. She's like
I'm the nurturer,
the
100%.
nurturer. She takes care of us.
I make sure the fridge is stocked.
Maddie holds my hand.
Is Maddie a good boss?
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Maddie holds my hand when I freak out. And that's
There you
me.
go.
That's all I could ask for. If I'm freaking out,
That's what I'm
Maddie's like,
saying. Maddie's
"Listen,
the boss."
it's
We're
okay."
fine. Everything's fine. We'll find a solution. Don't worry.
Yeah.
You
Good
need
stuff.
both.
Yeah. All right. So at the end of the day, let's dive back in. It goes back to, in my personal belief, in how your employees are delivering the experience. A referable experience. Yes, you can put up the playbooks. You can add the hooks, the marketing, the promotions. You can try and force it that way, but it's better if you can actually create the experience from the inside out and get people excited about doing what they do for a living. And it comes across on social media too. Like if someone just barely got any sleep and they're, you got a picture of these guys showing their butt crack, and like their pants falling and like they're smoking with a cigarette on the side. And like, how are you going to capture that great video from that?
Yeah.
Or you can have a great culture where you're empowering people, pouring into them, you're feeding them every morning, so they're going to go out there and do a great job, and you take care of your people, they're going to take care of you and your clients. Like that is it at the end of the day, and it's an honor to serve you. It's an honor to serve our employees. That's become my goal here. Like I said, I serve two specific individuals in my business. Number one is our employees, and number two is our clients. Our employees come before our clients because without our employees, we can't serve our clients.
Yeah.
And that's become my lesson. Hopefully that applies to you. I would love to hear what you took away from this specific podcast episode. I'd love to hear the comments. Leave us in the comments. What do you think? What do you think about referrals and creating that referable experience for your business? Leave us in the comment. Make sure you follow us on YouTube at Contractor Click, as well as Apple and Spotify, Contractor Click Podcast. We'll see you in the next one. Thank you for tuning in.